Welcome to Advertising Copy and Layout for Spring 2015. The class number is ADVR 3250, so you'll know you're in the right place. And my name is Lise Cutshaw. I am the instructor for this online class, and this is the first video. This video will just be sort of a general introduction to me and to the class. Very non-specifically, I will create another video to talk about the syllabus. But for now, I wanted to introduce you to me, and I won't talk about myself very much because that's pretty darn boring. But I am a graduate of ETSU. I have 3 degrees from ETSU. A degree in phys ed and music, if you can imagine. I wanted to be a singing kickball teacher originally, but then went back to school and got a degree in journalism and public relations. And then I have a master's also in communication, or in what they call professional communication, also from ETSU. But most of my career, or all of my career really, has been in some form or another of communication. I started out in newspapers and worked at all the local newspapers, and some in Kentucky and some in North Carolina. I was an editor for the Joint Chiefs of Staff Modern Aids to Planning program in the 1980s, and although working for the Pentagon sounds really exciting, it's not terribly exciting. But living in Washington, D.C. was very much fun. I have worked, in addition to the newspapers in the area, I've worked at ETSU for about 15 years now. Most of that time as a full-time teacher in the communication department that is now called MassComm. And the last 4, or I guess almost 5 years now, I have worked for Mary B. Martin School of the Arts, which is an fine and performing arts program within the College of Arts and Sciences. I do their marketing and media, and do that full-time and only teach now and then as an adjunct these days. This class, however, is going to be exciting because it is an online class. It is the first time that advertising copy has been taught online. It has always been taught on ground. And I have always taught in-class courses, so this is a first in a number of different ways. I hope that you all will help me make this a success by giving me your feedback, and consistent feedback, not just at evaluation time, to help me make this the best online course that it could possibly be, as well as just a successful course in general for you all and for your learning hopes and pursuits. I'm hoping that you all will join me in introducing yourselves, and I will make an assignment online asking you all to create a PowerPoint about yourselves, and I will create one myself as well. And then we can share those online and get to know each other a little bit. I do hope that we can have some synchronous times when we can meet through some of the marvelous programs that are sort of like Skype or FaceTime, but a little fancier than that perhaps, for us to meet as a whole class. And not terribly often, because I know part of probably the reason why you're taking this class is so that you can do it on your own time. But this is the kind of class in which it's going to be really important for us to give each other pretty immediate feedback to ideas and concepts. So one of the things, and I'm hoping to share with you in this shorter video, kind of some ways in which I hope that we can talk with each other and better learn in an online setting without it being all on D2L, but sometimes being a little more personal There's a wonderful program called WebEx that I have access to as a faculty member and a staff member at ETSU. And it is very similar to Skype, but we can meet in a large forum, as many as 500 people, and there are only going to be 20 people in this class at the maximum. But we can all meet at once. And I'm hoping that that will work out for you all, that we can find a synchronous time or a time when we can all meet literally in real time. In fact, I'd like to ask you if you would email me if there is a time or a couple times that you feel consistently from week to week, let's say on Tuesdays at 5 p.m., that might be a good time when you could meet in a synchronous meeting on WebEx. There may not be times when you could have a synchronous meeting, and if so, I hope that you'll tell me that. But if you would send me an email to Cutshaw, Cutshaw, at etsu.edu, and let me know if there might be one or two times when you could conceivably, not every week, but every so often, maybe every other week, have a synchronous meeting with the whole class. And if you end up having to miss that because that's a day that they rescheduled you at work or you had to do something else, then obviously that's going to happen in a class of 19 to 20 people. But please send me an email, let me know if there might be a preferred time. And maybe we could all meet at 4 or 5 o'clock on one afternoon every other week or so. Or maybe it's a lunchtime that everybody seems to have in common. I'll try to sort through those and figure that out. I'm also hoping that through Google Hangouts that you all can meet as teams to do some brainstorming. That would not be a constant thing, but for some of our assignments, that give and take again, communication of minds thinking creatively, I think it's going to be really crucial to making this particular class a success. That whole brainstorming process is one of the most exciting things about what we do in public relations and in advertising. If there are times when you can meet with a team, I'll let you kind of work that out between your teams as to when you can do that. So I'm looking at some synchronous meeting times, sometimes whole class, sometimes as you all might schedule between a team. There will probably be some times when I'd like to meet with you and your team to talk about some ideas that you have brainstormed. Some of that we can do by email, certainly. Some we can do by discussion board. And so I'm looking at many different ways in which we can communicate and share ideas and feed on one another's ideas, because they're not kidding when they say that two heads are better than one. They certainly are. And I can tell you in my case that an additional brain coming back at me with feedback and ideas is so very helpful, because, I only have half of a brain. So you add another brain to it, and I've got 1.5 brains, and that's pretty good. The class in general will be organized with 1 to 2 assignments a week. It will vary from week to week, and certainly for the first couple weeks, we'll start out a little bit slower. The first assignment in most of these sections will be sort of a practice assignment, and I will be giving you feedback on that, but it won't be graded per se. Your second assignment typically will be about the same sort of material that you had learned in that first practice assignment, and then that second assignment will be graded. I like to give you the chance to learn the material, familiarize yourself with that process or that particular technique, and then actually put that into practice and be graded on that then. You'll have a final project, and we'll start talking about that at about midterm. But again, I will create a syllabus recording or video for you that will talk about those assignments more specifically, and we'll sort of walk through the syllabus together in that video. I do want to let you know that in addition to WebEx and Google Hangouts, I'm expecting that you all will need a Microsoft Word type program, some sort of Word or text-based program that you can type in your assignments and then submit them to me through Dropbox. So if you have difficulties accessing a program that is similar to Microsoft Word or is Microsoft Word, please let me know and we will try to work that out. Your feedback in this class throughout the entire process, not just at evaluation time, is going to be so important because I don't live in a vacuum. I should not be in any way intimidating to you. I hope that you will feel like you can contact me if you have questions or if you have concerns, if there's something that is not working well for you, if I'm moving too fast. That communication between us, the students, and to me, and from me back to you, pretty much constantly is going to be essential to making this class a success. So please feel free to contact me anytime. I welcome that. I will make sure that you have my phone number as well as my email, and that you can just contact me with anything that's on your mind regarding this class, with questions, with any need for any additional help. And I just hope that it's going to be an exciting class for you all. I already feel excited about working on it as I plan. And I hope that this new year is going to be wonderful for you all. Happy New Year! And I will see you again in the syllabus video. Woohoo!